Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Emotional Wellbeing with EAR. Today, I have with me Sonam Bhangde Mohata, a seasoned banker. She's with Standard Chartered currently, but she's passionate about life in general and mother to a little girl, and she is someone who's very curious by nature. So, welcome to my show, Sonal.
Hi. First of all, thank you for inviting me. Secondly, I would like to really appreciate your work. And I would also like to say something that whatever you're doing, I'm very inspired by it. And I'm wishing you luck and love in future.
Thank you so much, Sonam. Now, tell me something about yourself, Sonam as a young girl, and how was it while growing up?
So, life has been a bit of roller coaster ride for me. So when I was born, I was the second daughter for my mother, and while growing up, generally a toddler speaks at the age of 1.5, 2. So I had a speech disability wherein I couldn't talk at all. So my mother got really scared because I was a girl child, number one, and two, it's a dream of every parent or every mother basically when they are in their motherhood to see their child grow. So, what really disturbed my mother or my parents for that sake was my speech disability. So, I remember my mom. She's also told me about it, and basically, I also have a glimpse of a few things. Where she used to take me to Hakims, she used to take me to doctors, whomsoever used to tell her that, if you do this puja or if you jap this mantra, maybe she'll be able to recover or maybe she'll be able to be normal. My mom tried everything on this planet. She has done jobs, she's done puja, and finally, I was not recovering. So she still never gave up. That was something which is there to learn from her. She never gave up. She was not that literate. She is just 10 past. She got married at a very early age. We are three sisters. So finally, she has got three daughters, which is a very, in India, if you say, it's a long journey or maybe something where you feel that it's an added responsibility. So my mother, she, unlike the other daughters, she had put me in a special school, which you call as, and I was not going to a convent school whereas rest of my sisters, they were going to a convent school. She never lost hope. She always thought that I should be able to get that environment where I know at least how to sit in front of children, what is the environment when you go to school. She used to pack my tiffin in a way where she packs it for a normal daughter or a normal child. That school was just behind my house for her comfort, where she can actually come and seek, and seek me or maybe get any help or advice whenever if there is any kind of an issue or something. So I still remember the day I was 6 years old. So till six, I never uttered a word from my mouth. I was actually a speech disabled child, a dumb child. I still remember. I don't know what I went through or something, but the kids used to bully me. The kids used to pull my hair. They used to make fun of me, which happens in normally, all the schools, because the kids, they don't realize whatever they feel abnormal or maybe unconventional. You have that approach towards the other person that you tend to make fun of it. So the kids used to bully me. One fine day, I don't know what went inside me. I ran from the school. So when I ran from the school, the guards started running behind me. So this is a complete, a movie kind of a scenario. So the guards started running behind me. The school students started running behind me, and I somehow ran till the time I reached my home. Like I said, my home was very near to the school, and um, m- my mom saw me and she got flabbergasted as to why I ran from the school and what went wrong and how things went. She got very scared because of this act of mine, because I was just six, near six. And then I uttered the first word from my mouth, and I was like, I started screaming and I started saying, because I wanted to tell my mother that behind you, they bully me. And maybe that act or maybe that thing provoked me to have that thing open my mouth or maybe get that speech. So this has been the, like, the first leg of my life. Maybe the story, which I don't know if a lot of you might have heard similar stories or not, but this is something which was a which was like a mountain for my mother. So she was able to cross this particular thing. She was able to complete this journey where her daughter started talking. So that was the day when my mom hugged me. She wept, I wept, and I wanted to tell her that these are the people who were bullying me for all the days. But just because I did not have a speech, I couldn't come to you and I couldn't share my sorrow, or maybe I couldn't share my feelings with you at that given point of time. So this is how my childhood, like for the first 6 years, have been. It was a very tough time for my mother. I just can't be, I actually feel I'm like very emotional at the moment, very sensitive at the moment. But I feel what my mother has done to me, I'll never be able to do even 10% as a mother for my child. That's the kind of regards uh, I have it for my mother or any other mother who's giving her best shot for their respective kids. So this is one. Secondly, as a child, like I said, I did not go to the kindergarten school, or maybe I did not have that kind of a background. So because of this, I was far behind, the others, wherein they got the exposure, wherein they got the environment, wherein they got, the platform to learn little things in life. So when my mom, she had put me into the school, she had to go through a lot of challenges. She had to go through a lot of hurdles to, put me in a school. So I still remember my mom paying a huge donation to put me in the same school as my sisters, because that was a convent school, and they thought that I'm an unconventional case, or maybe I'm a different student, and they were not that keen to take me. But because a lot of requests from my mother of putting all the three daughters in one school, finally I got into the school. So I still remember my journey when I never went to nursery, KG, KG1 or anything. I was directly into first standard. I still remember the day when my teacher used to call my mom saying that, she's not coping up. She has problems and issues in dealing with things, in learning the concepts and so on. And my mother always used to feel that there will be a day when my daughter will prove everybody wrong. And that hope, that's the reason they say that you should never lose hope. That hope has, I think, got me over here till date. So whatever I am is like I completely surrender, and maybe I completely give the credit to my mom of, ensuring that there is nothing impossible. Everything is possible on this planet, and you should never lose hope. So once I got to the first standard, it was very difficult for me. The same pattern got repeated in second standard, third standard, fourth standard. My mom used to request the teachers, stating that, she is an unconventional case. So, and my both the sisters, they were doing exceptionally well. One of my cousins was the prime minister of the school. We had the cabinets and the prime minister thing in a school. So they all used to feel that she is the odd uh, man out in the entire clan, where she is unable to cope up. So the same pattern got repeated in second grade, third, fourth. I don't know what happened. Maybe because of my environment, because of the support I received. In the fifth standard, I stood first. So it was a 360-degree change in me. I started adapting to things, I started learning. And my entire family, I still remember, there was a huge celebration when I stood first, because they never thought in their rarest dreams that a girl like me, or maybe a special case like me, could ever make it till there. So I still remember, getting a lot of goodies from everybody in the family, celebration, loving me to the core. just because at that given point of time today, I feel all the parents, they have this acceptance that it is okay even if the child is not good academically. It's quite okay. What matters the most is that wherever your child is comfortable or wherever your child is excelling, let's promote that particular thing. Let's not compare. But at the time when I was, 6 years old, 7 years old, at that given point of time, like I'm talking about 26, 27 years back, at that given point of time, academics was the only criteria. Academics was the only factor where they used to feel that this is it. बच्चा अगर पढ़ रहा है तो मे बी तभी वो ज्यादा अच्छा कर रहा है. So that was the thing in them. So finally, I crossed all the barriers and I reached a point where somehow everybody got those hope, that hope in life, and everybody felt, yes, anything can be done or anything can be achieved. So that is all about my childhood journey.
I think that's just so beautifully put, Sonam. And this will give a lot of perspective to parents specifically. Young children are egocentric. Their self-esteem is built from the eyes of the parents. Like rightfully you are saying, see, before the age of 7, the child always looks at himself or herself on how the parent views. See, the fact that your mother gave you unconditional positive regard and was supportive gave you the courage to work on yourself, even year after year, for many years after that, when you overcame the initial barrier. A mother who believed in you was really important, and very pertinently and beautifully you brought that point across. In therapy, I come across parents who always tell me, fix up my child. But I often just want to tell them, and through my books and through these kind of talks, I want parents to realize that you are the role model and you're the biggest influence in your child's life. If you give your child unconditional love and positive regard, the child will blossom. And not every child blossoms at the same time. And to talk about your speech disability, it'll inspire a lot of parents not to give up hope on their children. So I love the way you truly felt special in the special sense, that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me tell you, it is not easy for a mother who's not well exposed to the environment. My mother was a daughter-in-law of a complete traditional Marwadi family. She came from a background where, the daughters used to get married in 17 years or maybe 18 years of age. So not having that kind of exposure, not being that learned, still she has crossed all the barriers, and she has set an example for every mother who maybe has a child, or maybe there is an issue or there is something which needs to be fixed.
That's just so wonderful. So tell me something, any other challenges that you have faced to become the woman that you are today?
So, life, like they all say, will never be the same. All days are not Sundays. And you have to, if you actually want to understand life, you have to go through that ups and downs, and you have to see highs and lows in life. So likewise, my life was also the same. So there was a point when my parents, they have given us chauffeur-driven cars. They've made us, roam the entire world. We went out. We had great fun. There was every facility you called for in my house at one given point of time. But then, suddenly their business didn't do well. And, I have seen the journey, in the second phase of my life, where my parents were like, from the riches to rags. So that kind of a journey we've seen. So there was a time in my life, where actually I felt the burden. And actually, I felt that it's very important to have money. It's very important to save, because you never know when life will throw lemons on you, and you have to make either a lemonade or maybe you can do any other thing from it. So there came a time when my parents' business was not doing that well, wherein there wasn't enough resource for us to maybe channelize ourselves, maybe get the right guidance. And it was at a time when I had my boards. I was in standard 10th. It was a very difficult time wherein, my parents, they said me that, these are the subjects you have, but we can only afford tuitions for either one subject or two. Maybe we won't be able to give you all the, maybe the coaching for every subject. So that was a matter of concern because I was in 10th and my elder sister was in 12th. So that was a time when we realized the power of saving, the value of money in a better way. And I feel that, life has given me everything. I have seen both the worlds. Maybe I got matured way before my age. Maybe the circumstances where we went through were in such a way where we learned a lot. To be very personal, and I'm sharing something really personal, and I know a lot of people are going to watch it, but this is just to tell them that there are a lot of phases in life where we can't lose hope. There was a time in the life of my parents where they had to decide as to where they should, get their meals from. So there were certain friends sending meals to them for a month or two. That was kind of phase where my family was going through. So I have seen both the worlds, like a chauffeur-driven car, going to kitty parties with my parents, enjoying and having lavish food and going for lavish holidays, luxury to an extent, wherein everything changed 360 degrees. And, there was a time when we had to save. So that was a time which taught me a lot. That was a time where I learned the value of money. I learned what relationships mean to you because there are a lot of friends who offered help to my parents. And that time I learned that, the human connect for the relationships plays a very important role. There's nothing on this planet which can match that. uh, I learned a lot of other things. So basically, I feel that I am a person who believes in the power of prayer. I experienced that. I got connected with God in a way. Maybe I have seen the environment in my house wherein I've seen both my parents, maybe giving Suraj Arag, or maybe, chanting, or maybe reading books, or maybe doing pujas. And that has got inculcated in us in a way. So I also started following it and I saw things changing. I thought I saw, there was something divine which I can't express right now. But then I feel there was the universe which was helping me, or maybe some force or some power which made me the person I am today, which helped us to turn the tables, maybe which helped us to get here from the phase where we went to. And that was a journey where I helped my parents. I started doing a job from a very young age. I still remember doing a part time job at the age of 18 to help my parents. I always thought that, helping your parents at that time was something, the best thing you can offer them, being obedient, supporting them in their ways. So I still remember at the age of 20, I became the assistant training manager of Max New York Life. I was the youngest trainer in the country and I learned a lot. And I still remember sharing my salary with my parents to help them out. So maybe the circumstances, maybe the journey we went through, maybe the phase of, uh, riches to rags and then rags to riches helped me to become a better person, understand, empathize with people around. Maybe the leg where I couldn't speak, I had a speech disability, helped me to empathize with people better, helped me to understand that not everybody is born with everything. We all have certain struggles in life. We all struggling on some or the other thing in life. Maybe trying to understand and relate with you better. So this is something which I have learned over a period, that what is important in life is to actually live well, love, and share your happiness with others. Try to empathize with them and maybe understand as to what they're going through, because we all are going through something or the other. So I feel this journey has helped me to evolve.
So well put, and like you rightly said, adversity sometimes give us an opportunity to invest in our emotional well-being. Things and values that we take for granted, like empathy, kindness, gratitude, or surrendering to a higher power. We often just forget about them, but these are the ones that see us through, or just never losing hope. That is something, it's an attitude of I'll keep trying and I'll do the utmost from the highest, is something how beautifully you've demonstrated, Sonam. So, what emotional ability resources do you use on a regular basis today to cater to your emotional well being?
So people like you help us a lot. Let me be very honest with you. I keep listening to every conversation of yours. I go through a lot of reels and maybe the YouTube channel which you put across. So I go through that. There are a lot of gurus. There are a lot of good books. So today, the best part is that you have a lot of material, which maybe you did not have earlier. Today there's a lot of help, a lot of support, a platform available for you, like where we can go through. If at all you have that curiosity and maybe that interest in you can always learn. And I feel that God has been really kind to me. I've always been surrounded with very good people. The energy, the vibe you carry, your surroundings matters a lot. So I am actually learning from my surroundings. I'm learning from people who have made it till here, who have had a tough journey in their life. So their experience, maybe their mistakes, or maybe what they've been through has actually got me here. So if you ask me, my mother has been an inspiration to me. There are a lot of other females, there are a lot of other people in my life whom I get inspired from on a daily basis. People like you, whom I keep hearing, on a regular basis. So these are the things which you hear, which you read, which you try to inculcate in yourself, has, brought a change in me. And this is helping me to a larger extent.
That is so true. We again take technology for granted. These days, we always hear parents complaining about how social media is very detrimental to mental health or very bad for focus. But, it's how we use any resource that's available to us. And sometimes, as parents, we can role model, like, for example, if we use YouTube or the books we read as a way to grow and develop our personality, then our children also pick up the same. And that is something, that really remains close to my heart. Like the other day, as some of you know, I love to do my bit to give back to society and do charitable activities. And, I support an NGO. And my son, who's in his 20s, the other day told me, Mom, I understand today why it is what you do, because not everything is, monetizable. Of course, we need economics, we need to do that. But very rightly, you pointed out, it's the relationships we make, and we human beings are social creatures, who thrive on connection. And sometimes simple things like sending a meal to a friend who's going through a hard time is very, very important. We take it for granted, but that gives hope to an entire family. So I want to ask you, how is it that you have given back to society, or how is it that you have tried to nurture another person's emotional well-being? I would love to know your journey.
So, as mentioned by me, I have been through some challenges in my life. The journey has been a roller coaster ride, or maybe I've had my own tides. I understood that education plays a very important role. So, I always wanted, so, I always thought that I want to adopt a child, which till now I'm not successful in. So, because there are a lot of other challenges, but I thought at least I can sponsor somebody's education. So today I can, tell you very proudly that I am sponsoring somebody's education. I have ensured that the child gets educated, because I understood that, it's everybody's right, and everybody should be entitled to be educated. This is one thing which I do. Secondly, I understand the feeling of not having. So, I always try to bridge the gap between the haves nots and, the haves. I do my bit in every way. There are occasions where I distribute meals to the society. I'm a part of an organization which does a lot of activities which I really enjoy, and I look forward to do it in future as well. So if you ask me, there are these small little ways, whether it's in person for someone whom I know, or maybe whom I'm not aware of, basically, I try to do things in kind for them. There are times, like you rightly said, sending a meal to, a friend uh, in his or her low can do wonders to them. It's like a therapy. So there are a lot of times when, your surroundings, your people go through low. If I talk about my own mother, she is in her 60s right now. So she has done her knee replacement. So I have tried to be her son, though I am, in a different house, but I have tried to do every bit for her. I still look forward and I still keep telling her that, Mama, not in this life, stand alone. You'll always be, having me by your side. And I will be there till the end of my life for you. So that creates a lot of sense in my mother, because earlier they used to feel that you need a son, and you need a son because that son will be there for you in your retirement years, or maybe what you call it as peaceful years. But I have tried to break the chain, or maybe I've tried to break that motion by telling my mother that, look, I'm your daughter. You have, given me everything, a child can ask for. And now is the time when I want to become your son. And I actually don't want to prove it to the world, but I want to tell it to my own self that, yes, Mama, I'm there for you. So these are the little things where, where you see your surroundings not that happy, or maybe there's something. Example, I was in Rajasthan recently. So basically, I went for a temple visit. And I still remember a small child coming near to me. We were having, the food, and we were relishing the Rajasthani food. And a small child, maybe some 8-10 years, coming to me and saying, Didi, bhook lagi hai. And normally you give 10 rupees, or normally you want to just give them some change, which is an act of kindness. But I think that 8-10 rupees might not help him to a greater extent. So what I did was, I told the shop owner that इसको जितना अच्छे से खाना है आप खिलाइए, and I will be bearing the expense for that little child. When I was watching the child eating food, maybe I thought that, that child is eating after a gap, or maybe has not had food since a long time. The kind of happiness I saw on that child's face made my day. So these are the small acts of kindness on a daily basis, which I feel I keep doing, and I love to do. I love to do it because my soul gets very happy. And I feel very satisfied, and I somehow feel that we all here, yeah, we will go into dust someday. So let's spread happiness, let's spread love in whatever ways we can.
I think that's so beautiful, and just intentionally spreading love and happiness is a choice that each one of us can make, and we look for joy in vacations, through exotic spa visits or lunching with friends. While they may be helpful, I'm not denying that, but sometimes true joy lies in just letting another eat their heart out, or just helping someone achieve their dream. The dream could just be that I'm hungry and I just want to eat. And rather than treating it like a chore, okay, I've given something very mindlessly, but I genuinely try and replenish someone's satiety, that is something which is just being mindful. The activity is the same, but the intention makes all the difference. So that was really wonderful. And, I like the fact, because a lot of times I always believe, like Carl Rogers says, we human beings are intrinsically good. We are good people, and we all want to do good. It's not that we don't want to do, but sometimes other things take priority, or we just get caught up in things. So have there been any books that have inspired you, or anything else that you feel sustains you on a daily basis?
So, I was never an avid reader. though I've read a few books. But there are a lot of reels, there are a lot of videos, there are a lot of good things which you hear from, influencers. Of late, I have followed to an extent a Sadhguru. I listen to Sandeep Maheshwari at times. I listen to a lot of people who tell us a lot of things. So I would not say that there is one particular avenue which has made me, what I am today. But I feel small things which you learn from your environment on a daily basis. Maybe, it can be that we want to bring a change in the world, but our own family is not that happy. So let's go step by step, wherein we try to, maintain that harmony in our house. Maybe try to do little things when they feel loved. It can be small little things. It can be, a small chit with a coffee that you love them. They know about it, but reiterating or listening to the same fact again and again brings a lot of happiness and brings a smile on the face of your family members. Maybe doing small act like, it can be buying a coffee for your friend. Uh, when they are not at all expecting from you, maybe. So that brings a smile on their face. So it isn't one particular therapy or formula or maybe something, but I feel that I am trying to be a better version of myself. You are teaching me a lot in a lot of ways. There are a lot of people around me who've been helping me to be a better person. I basically have this inner hunger to heal the world, or maybe to do something for the environment, or maybe for the people I'm surrounded with. So I feel the entire combination, or maybe when you club it all together, this is something which is happening on a daily basis. And I'm like, the best thing on this planet is to have a feel good factor for yourself. When you love yourself for the person you are, or maybe the journey you're going through, or maybe the upgrade which is happening in your life, if you are very happy with it, I think nothing on this planet can beat it. Because there is this inner force which tells you that, what you're doing, I love it. And if someone were to treat me in this way, or maybe do things for me in this way, I would feel very happy. So this is something which keeps me going.
Thank you so much, Sonam. It's just been so wonderful listening to you. And if you had one word to describe Sonal, what would it be?
So Sonam is a curious learner and a go-getter. And and I feel that, this hunger, this quest, maybe to learn something, to adapt to the new environment, or maybe to a better version, be a better version of yourself, or maybe the inner thing which is there in me that, my people should be happy. So it sums it all. So I'm a very curious learner and I'm a go-getter.
So thank you so much for taking the time out. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thanks a lot for inviting me and for having me here. And I wish you all the very best and may you have many more success.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.